What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we have Market Watch. So this one's going to break down a little bit differently. We're going to be talking about TCG market news, some stuff we're going to look at, and then what I'm going to go through is kind of something a little bit different. We're going to talk about the craziness that was the release stamps, how they're doing right now, a couple of them. Then we're going to take a look at the kind of losers of the set, where they're kind of just under $1 and everything like that, kind of just the tankers. Then we're going to take a look at high rarity cards, stuff you should be just contemplating on for deck building, kind of just like, oh, hey, this is kind of where you're kind of sitting for a deck and still kind of be like, okay, so these are going to be the top decks. Where my price range going to be? And then kind of just go through a little bit of things you should be probably picking up because there'll be some decent value there. And then for kind of just watching things kind of explode a little bit at the end. So without further ado, let's dive in the video and talk about it. So guys, if you want to help support the channel with no extra cost, please use the affiliate link down below. It costs you nothing to support the channel, and it's just a great way of doing it while you're checking out cards that you are always ready going to be paying for. So without further ado, let's get into it. So as you guys know, TCG Market News, really good platform. Link down in the description. Use it as a tab. It helps you a lot, and especially when there are cards you kind of just want to pick up. Sometimes it'll pop up nicely and you kind of just get a good understanding. Oh, this is going down in price. This is going down in price. Or, you know, personal favorite of mine right now is that you can make custom watch lists. So if you guys are watching closely on cards, it'll tell you when they're dipping or going up, anything like that, and it'll lead to being some great value for you overall. And then kind of just tell you where your gains are going, where you're watching closely. Eventually, what I'm hoping to do in the future is make like this as a way of sharing to you guys of this was the Market Watch built in. It'll link down below, and then you can just click on the cards that you want to go right in, and it'll be easy peasy snap. And it'll be for the people that don't really want to hear me talk. So I think it's a great useful tool, and especially because this tool is such a benefit for players across the world. And I think this is going to be something, and especially because then I can share my watch list of cards that I'm excited for. You know, Gaiamon's been something I've been watching closely because I want to know when I might be wanting to move it. I was seeing where Justimon Blitz Arms were kind of going, and then you have Omnimon X where that's going, and the Pyildra and the Jesmon stuff as well. So taking a look, Last Guardian holding strong at this $30 mark. It's definitely been selling at the 25s. You guys hit this, is probably one of your jackpot cards. You kind of move this to any of the Royal Knights players because they're definitely going to snag this up, right? Now, again, Last Guardian, though, on the Europe side, looking like 8 to 10 euros. Kind of see this coming on Europe side. They're usually pretty cheap on the release cards. Now, Pyildramon, sitting at 19s. I'm more comfortable picking this up at 15s and stuff like that. I am not really comfortable picking up at 25s, 18s, 19s. Europe side, though, you guys got it dirt cheap. Might see if I can get this on proxy servers. Outside of that, no, pretty solid. I think $3 is not bad. Now, Jesmon Release Special Booster 2.5, we're at $14.86. To be honest with you, maybe it might be smarter if you guys are looking up to max rare your Jesmon and the release stamp is something you want to get. This 3-of copy with a $5 ship, you know, will be probably your best bet at the end of the day. And again, this is for the people that want to max rare that deck. Europe side, though, you guys got it good. You know, €1 to €3. Dino Bees are at $2 under a $5 shipping. Yeah, if you guys need a Dino Bee, which is only going to be like 2-ofs max, you might just want to pick it up with the $5 shipping. Europe side, €1 to €2. Now, Alphamon Release Special Booster 2.5, $16. Kind of expected here. I mean, some sold at 8, but 15's just been its stagnant point. And again, this is kind of where it comes into that territory of Alphamon. Very useful, great deck. This one is definitely for the Chronicle fans, though. €2 to €3, kind of just where it's going to sit at. Now, Oriumon, same thing. It's sitting at $5 to $8. This might be a good pickup price because I think $5 a pop is not bad. If you can pick them up under 10s, I think it's a smart investment, right? Especially because you don't know how Adventure is going to handle or Chronicles, I mean, not Adventures, Chronicles will handle in the format. And again, it does well in JP. It's been kind of doing well at the local level at a consistent rate. So I don't know if this is going to end up being something really useful for you guys or long-term, you know, beneficial. So again, for the release max rarity of the Oryukens, well, you know, Chronicles, it's probably worth it at the 5s. Now, Europe side looking like 2 to 3 euros. Now, Kazuchimon. This one is for the Takamazuchi players, right? This is more or less Takamazuchi. This has a $2 with 5 shipping. Guys, I would snag these up at 2s. That's not bad. You might not see this at the end of the video, actually. I mean, for $5 shipping with $2 a card, I think if you buy bulk quantity, this thing is your best bet. Your side 2 to 3 euros. Now, Battle NPC, definitely a Imperial Dramon tech for max raritying it. So $8 a pop is nothing to scoff at. Now, Europe side looking like 70 cents, 1 euro. Now, Sakuyamon release special booster 2.5, we're at $7.94. This is for the max rarity Sakuyamon deck, and I do have tokens on my Etsy store, so use the Etsy link down below. It'll help you get some tokens for that. Now, taking a look, though, we're looking at 1 to 2 euros. Now, Justimon Blitz Arm Ace is 39 cents. This is now where I'm going to start talking about the losers. So this one is definitely undervalued. I think, to be honest with you, eventually it might bust open, especially once we get better devices or even just more support in general, right? You know, Justimon X Antibody was pretty solid. Justimon Blitzarm Ace is really good. It just needs a little bit more focus, and I think the problem comes down to it had the Sakuyamon issue, but I think eventually, once it gives it like a better Cyberdramon Ace or something like that, that can just help the deck be better than what it is, I think it'll change up the battlefield, and all it just takes is a better, you know, level 5 that's going to just be able to be played at a cheaper cost, right? Now, your side 15 to 40 cents. Yeah, really solid. Now, Rapidmon Ace release special boosters at 48 cents, 60 cents. No surprise there. I expected this to be one of the losers just because it's a hot one of, and even if you just play it. Europe side looking like 40 cents to 50 cents. Now, Invisimon release special boosters up to 34 cents going down. Up to, you know, I kind of expected this. This is another loser of the set. Again, it's just, I think another wave of support's really going to go off and make this deck a lot better. But right now, it just doesn't have that second wave that's just going to really flesh out this deck in the way it really wants to, right? Invisimon just needs a good backup level 6 and a backup line that just really helps with the core strategy. And once that does, I think the deck has a lot of potential, and being able to de-digivolve where it's on play and being able to play hide and go seek on your opponent is really scary. Europe side looking like 20 cents to 40 cents. Now, Shoutmon EX release special booster 2.5 kind of just felt like this was going to be where it's at. Again, Cross Art's not doing as crazy hot as it used to, and being even 3 colors is kind of tough for this deck, right? You know, we're at 50 cents, and I think it's going to do well at the local level, but at high level competitor events, maybe it might reach to round 5 very comfortably, but then start falling off once it starts hitting the stronger and stronger decks. Now, taking a look, though, on the Europe side, same thing, 20 cents to 50 cents. Now, Beelzemon Blast Mode Ace, under $2 at the moment. You know, $1.50 here, $1.50 there. Especially if you can get multiple copies, the shipping doesn't really matter, right? So, taking a look, though, it's another card that is really good as a very powerful level 7 ace, right? You know, Blast Mode Ace was seeing splash ability in a lot of purple decks. It's just a very powerful ace that helps synergize with purple strategy and being able to delete opponent's level 6 or lower. And if you have 10 or more cards in trash, instead delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Very powerful skill. Now, your side looking like 1 euro to 2 euros, under like a euro too. It just comes with the territory. Now we're getting into fighter mode textures. So this is where I was talking about the big money cards. So this one's a big one. So almost $700, but you know, last solds were 500s. I see it more or less closely moving into the 450 range, not this 700 range. I think really players will just bite it out and just wait for it to go down. Europe side looking like 500 to 600 range. Now, Alphamon or Yukimode Ace, again, if you guys had pulled this, probably best to sell this on Facebook Marketplace, listed at, you know, for 400, maybe 390, and it'll come through and move that way, right? I don't think players are going to be willing to pay 420 on TCG Player right now, but if you guys move this over to Facebook Marketplaces, you'll actually have a better shot. Europe side looking like 300 euros, 340 euros. Now, just on GX Ace, this one was at $352. I sold mine for roughly $315, which is not a bad move, right? I think this card will come down little by little, but right now it's just going to be one of those SPs that's going to be hard to get out of the way, right? So taking that into account, I think at the end of the day, selling it for $315, I think it'll move more often than not. Now your side, wow, you guys have it a lot less. 200 euros, 250 euros. Yeah, if you guys sell closer to this range on marketplaces, you'll move it like nothing. But Europe side's, it's hard sale here over here. Examon Ace textures at 300. I don't think we're gonna have enough sales at 300. I think we're gonna have to wait for like 200, 250s. I think 200 will be where it's actually gonna move more often. Europe side looking like 100 euros, 130 euros. That's not bad, actually. Even personally, if I wanted a max rarity Examon Ace, which is a high possibility because it's like the 3 color combinations that I really do like, you know, I think that's going to be really cool. But at the moment, I don't know. I'm going to have to wait it out. Now, we do have Cool Boy Alts, $23. 24s. Again, this is for your Royal Knights deck. A lot of players are hyping this up. And again, we'll have to see long term if Cool Boy and the Royal Knight decks will do some crazy stuff over here. 20 euros to 22 euros. Medieval Gallantmon. So the reason why we're talking about Medieval Gallantmon is to kind of just give you the look at the secrets that kind of appeared in our current set to Chain of Liberations. See, Chain of Liberation's an abnormality on value, right? Medieval Gallantmon started out pretty low, actually. And I definitely highly recommended players snagging up in the 40 range because I knew this card was going to climb because this was definitely Death X good. You know, it's not something you would not sleep on, right? This is a card that you jumped on as soon as possible because, again, how powerful it is. You know, $83. This thing is just super splashable. Europe side looking like 50 euros to 55 euros. Now, Omnimon X Antibody Release Special Booster 2.5, sitting at 24s. Now, again, this card is a very powerful card, super splashable in, you know, red, white, and blue decks, or, you know, blue, or the French decks as they are blue, white, and red. You know, we just have this certain aspects that we needed to be careful about. You know, $25 is nothing to scoff at. And again, I think it's going to go down just a little bit more and then start climbing back up. Again, it's got Royal Knights that it wants to be played in at a full play set. It's a very powerful card in general. And I mean, it's super splashable. You're going to see it in a lot of crazy decks. Now, Europe side, 17 to 18 euros. Now, Gallantmon X Antibody Chain of Liberations are at 40s. Again, another card that kind of just went south and we weren't expecting it to go this south. And again, I kind of had this feeling that this card was going to be the one that faltered as the secret hype because, again, you had to have, you know, Magna X and the Rapidmon shenanigans where they both were kind of high, but then over time one dipped lower than the other. And this is what it was going to happen. Medieval, I felt, was going to be long term because Magna X was just the better card compared to Rapid X. So it just led into this diversity thing, right? So at the end of the day, I think Gallantmon X was going to go down, and I was proven right when this happened. Now, Europe side looking like 30 to 37 euros. Alphamon Oryukin mode Ace is at $30 a pop. And again, this card is super splashable in Royal Knights. It is played in your main deck of Guess Who, and that is the Chronicles deck. So at the end of the day, I think 29 is actually a good pickup price. I expect it to climb up a little bit more, maybe take some time to go down, but at the end of the day, it is moving comfortably in the 29 range pretty easily. So again, if you guys waiting for this to dip, you're going to be waiting a long time because I don't see this thing passing $27. Now, Europe side, 24 to 25 euros. Europe side's got a better lead on us, but it equals out the same, really. They're at like 27s. Now, Safaga Ace was another card that I had a feeling was going to go down. And again, I think players will give time and get some good reps on Safaga. And Safaga Ace is just really good. It's got keyword soup going on for it. But at the end of the day, being one of the lower secrets at this price, I kind of expected that we were going to have this, right? The problem comes down to 2.5's biggest issue was that secrets are guaranteed, right? Once you put things as guaranteed, you're now leading into this discussion of, oh, what happens now if I don't pull the secret? Well, you're not going to not. The lucky packs offset it too, because you could end up with 2 secrets in your box. And, you know, that just leads into a number game that causes all your secrets to dip, right? At the end of the day, it would have been a lot more expensive if it was just 2 of them and no lucky pack and it wasn't a double set and you were just in that weird spot, right? This is just what happens. So this is what you're going to be expected when it comes down to future sets. I definitely expect more like the medieval gallant kind of highs if the set is really strong. Now, again, like the tie, I'm going to be straight honest with you. I expect this is a Safaga Ace price. You know, €5 to €7. Now, Imperial Digimon Fighter Mode. So players are going to be really hyped for decks max rarity. So this is another card I'm watching extensively quick. You know, I'm waiting this out. If this thing dips down to being like 24s or 25s, I am picking it up at a heartbeat. I'm not paying 30s. I really am not. But I'm willing to wait it out until I can max rarity this at my own pace. I really am excited for Imperial Digimon, the red-purple Imperial Digimon, because again, this was the more playstyle I liked paired to the green Imperial Digimon. So this is one of the decks I do want to max rarity. But at the end of the day, 17 to €18. Now, taking a look at Fighter Mode, again, a deck that people were really nervous. I know that we have Shadermon promo being like the gatekeeper of this deck, and I wish we could substitute it, but it's kind of tough. I mean, you can in a way, but you really want the promo, right? But at the end of the day, the deck is fairly budgetable outside of the Shadermon promo. You know, Fighter Mode, release packs, you know, $4. I kind of had a feeling that we were going to get these low. And then Europe side looking like 90 cents and €1. Yeah, Europe's got it made. Dragon Mode, like, is at $7.98. I know this card deck is going to be super expensive, but at least with Digimon pricing, it just levels out, right? 7 to 8. Europe side €1 to €6. Dino Bees are at 13s climbing. Again, I know the Shadermons are just expensive, so I didn't even bother showing it. Europe side €6 to €7. Now, Talmon Ace is at $2.70 going down. Kind of figured this as much. This is going to be super budget friendly a little bit. €1 to €2. Now, Kazuamon is at 14s to 10s. Kind of knew this was going to come down to it. It wasn't going to bust open to like 30s. I knew that wasn't going to happen, but at least 14s are pretty solid. 14 to €15. Now, Shine Greymon Ruin Mode ults are like going to be your only problem childs. Being close to $50 is not easy, right? I think that's the big turnoff here, being that $50. But again, pick up 2 if you guys are just not going to be super hyper focused on the loop. But again, it just becomes that problem. Europe side looking like, oh, 44. Wow, that's the alt. I forgot you have the alt. Doi. Boop. Ba-doop, boop, 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 boop. Wow, no difference. Just pick up this one. Just pick up the limited special. At least that's cheaper. $44, 48. Yeah, this card's just gonna be stupid expensive. Europe side definitely had it in a good spot paired to us, but Hina's update packs are at $7 a pop. Kind of figured this was going to happen. This is a card you pick up, though, if you guys have plans on playing Dragon Links eventually. I think the Hina's just more support as time goes on. The deck is going to get more and more expensive, and the promo Hina's might end up being Shadermon level prices one day. Europe side looking like €3 to €4. Now, we do have Necromon, another card that you should be watching closely and maybe making sure you have copies of, because you never know how the Ghost deck is going to actually end up being. So stuff like that is super important, especially being under $2. It's just worth the investment. Mirai is looking at $50 a pop. She is going to start probably climbing up just a little bit more. I think just because the promo mass day, everything kind of gets affected, right? 26 to 35 euros. Digimon GX Ace alts are at 22s going down. This is probably a good time to snag these up. If not, just wait it out a little bit more if you don't feel like 22 is worth it, but I think 22 is pretty decent. Europe side looking like 14 to 16 euros. Digimon Ace, I definitely expect this to dip down more, and this one's definitely a wait out. Europe side looking like 9 to 10 euros. Digimon Blast Mode Ace is at $18.77 for its alt. Yeah, definitely wait this out a little bit. I don't expect it to be in the 18s. I think it'll come down further. 15s, solid. Digimon Blitz Arm Ace alts. You guys, pick this up at the 9s. If not, you want to wait it out, you can. I don't expect this thing to be expensive. I could see this becoming a $5 alt, but just wait it out. No questions asked there if you guys are trying to max rarity Blitz Arm Ace. 6 to 7 euros. Digimon alts. This is a card that I was warning you guys months and months ago to make sure you get your copies. And look at it now. $16 to $20 cards is nothing to scoff at. Europe side looking like 4 to 5 euros. Digimon alts are starting to climb up just a little bit. People have been picking these up just to combo in with the promo. You know, $18 is nothing. You know, 6 to 12 euros. Now, Crimson Mode Ace, another card that just kind of just explodes over time, right? I knew this was going to happen, and it's just Crimson Mode Ace is expensive. Yeah, Europe side, though, looking like 50 to 55 euros. But hopefully, guys, enjoyed the Mark Watch. I know this was longer, but there was just so much to cover. So, guys, hopefully, if you guys need anything, use my affiliate link down below. Check out Card Market, TCG Market News. Use that link down below as well. Tag it just to watch closely and build up these links that you need. It just really does matter, right? So, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.